As promised, we continue our conversation with the founder and managing director of Draper, Fisher Juritzen, venture capitalist Tim Draper. He recently beat out 44 other bidders at the U.S. government's Bitcoin auction last week. Tim, you now own 30,000 Bitcoins, estimated value roughly $19 million. Are you that much of a believer in the virtual currency?
Yeah, I'm very excited about this. I think Bitcoin is as big a transformation to the finance and commerce industry as the internet was for information and communications, as peer-to-peer technology was to telephony. I think this is as big a change as any of those are, and I am very excited about Bitcoin and what it can do for the world. It's going to open up the world in even a bigger way than the internet did, right through commerce.
Okay, so I hear you say that it's important for the world, and I can understand that Bitcoin looks good in a system where countries, let's say the currencies, are less stable than the dollar. Argentina comes to mind. But how long till mass adoption in North America, or does it matter?
Well, so yeah, to start with, the obvious choices are there's a company called Bitpagos that is operating in Argentina, and one called CoinCove operating in Mexico, and one called Pagatech operating in Africa. These are countries, Africa's not a country, it's a continent. But these are areas where they don't have super confidence in their own fiat currency, and as a result, Bitcoin looks more attractive to them. In North America, we have a strong currency and we have very good commerce, but we do have friction to our commerce. I mean, we pay credit card bills, we pay 2.5% to 4% for credit cards. Bitcoin could be much quicker and much cheaper than any of those. For us to move money to another country, it is always there's a lot of friction there. Western Union charges something like 8%. That can be done very quickly with various sources. Varum comes to mind. And I believe we will also be able to use Bitcoin as an alternative to our currency. I mean, in 2008, we didn't know if the dollar was going to be worth anything. When the markets were crashing around us or whatever, I mean, Bitcoin was, if Bitcoin were here in 2008, which I don't think it was, it would be a stability source for our world economy. And so I think when you no longer have confidence in your own currency, that's a great opportunity to use Bitcoin. But as an investor, you need to be able to hedge. I mean, every investor who's a fiduciary should be at least partially involved in Bitcoin, because it is a hedge against all the other currencies. And all of us should try it. I mean, everybody should go out there and buy a Bitcoin, because you buy one Bitcoin and then go figure out how to spend it. You can spend it with Snapcard or wherever, and you can spend it on anything you want. You can go on Amazon or
listen,
eBay.
I mean, there are premiums that people are willing to pay for controls on liquidity, controls on volatility. I mean, it has to be years away from mass adoption, at least in the U.S. I mean, I heard what you said about 2008, but I know that we had the buck being broken, et cetera. But I mean, there was no way that the U.S. government was going to let the entire system go down.
Well, I'm glad it didn't. But I do believe that we've got a big opportunity here in Bitcoin. There are new technologies. There are smart contracts being built around Bitcoin. There's a whole ecosystem being built that's going to make commerce much easier, with much less friction, and safer, where you actually will have your Bitcoin account at BitMe is safer than your cash account in any of the investment banks.
All right. Well, at the very least, I hear what you're saying. That is a diversification play at the very least. Tim Draper, we thank you always for your time. Venture capitalist joining us there.